Compound interest explained without the math hype. Compound interest is often explained as magic. It isn't. Most people understand compound interest in theory, but very few understand what it actually looks like in real life. And that gap between theory and reality is where most people get confused, disappointed, or give up entirely. The problem isn't the math, it's the expectations. If you've heard compound interest explained before, it usually sounds something like this. Money grows on top of money, growth accelerates over time, eventually it starts working harder than you do. None of that is wrong, but it's usually presented in a way that feels fast, exciting, and almost inevitable. Charts curve upward, examples jump ahead years at a time, the slow parts are skipped. What's left is the impression that compound interest is something you feel happening. In reality, you usually don't, and that difference matters. In real life, compound interest is quiet. In the beginning, it doesn't feel impressive. It doesn't feel motivating. It doesn't feel like momentum. For a long time, it feels like very little is happening at all. That's not because it isn't working. It's because compounding doesn't announce itself early. Most explanations focus on the end result. They rarely talk about the long stretch in the middle, where progress exists, but it's subtle. So people look at their situation and think, this doesn't look like growth. This doesn't look worth it. This doesn't feel like what I was promised. What they're really reacting to isn't failure, it's patience. Compound interest doesn't reward excitement. It rewards consistency. It doesn't respond to motivation spikes. It responds to time. The growth people admire later is usually built on years that felt boring, repetitive, and unremarkable. That's why so many people misunderstand it. They expect visible progress early. They expect reassurance. They expect feedback. But compound interest gives very little feedback at the start. Not because it's broken, but because that's how accumulation works. Most people don't fail at compound interest. They leave before it has time to matter. They assume the slow phase means it isn't working. They compare themselves to outcomes instead of timelines. They chase things that feel faster, even if they aren't sustainable. And over time, a quiet misunderstanding forms. If this was really working, I'd feel it by now. But compound interest was never designed to feel good early. It was designed to reward staying. Compound interest isn't impressive at the beginning. That's why so few people experience it at the end. And once you understand that, the concept stops feeling magical and starts feeling honest.